Okay, good morning students. You can see the new problem out here. A thin plate of uniform thickness 20 mm is as shown in the figure. In addition to the self weight of the plate is subjected to a load of 400 newtons at the mid depth with a material made of Young's modulus 200 GPa for the particular bar material. The self weight or unit weight is given as 0.8 into 10 raised to minus 4 Newton per mm cube. So this data is something very new, first time. Remember, this is a plate. Okay, so the plate means you need to have the cross sections. So you need to be aware that it is a rectangular cross section with thickness associated with the width of the plate. Okay, it's thin plate, very clearly mentioned, it's a thin plate, right? So you need to solve the nodal displacements and stresses, also find the support reactions, students. If you look at the diagram, we clearly mentioned the width of the portion 1, width of the portion 2 is 100, width of the portion 1 is 125. It's a stepped bar, it's a vertically suspended bar, it's one end is fixed, other end is free. You might have solved similar problems in while the structure is in the horizontal fashion. Here it is a vertical fashion, and the very interesting aspect of this problem is he has given you the self weight. You need to consider self weight. I'll come back to that later on. So what is the first step? You need to discretize into two elements, bar elements, since the problem is pertaining to 1D bar. So we'll be discretizing into two elements, 1, 2, 3 are the nodes. Okay, so node 1 is at the fixed end, node 3 is at the free end, and node 2 is in between the juncture of portion 1 and portion 2 where there is a discontinuity. These are all point of interest. Okay, and also you can see the mid depth load, point load is acting, which is P. Okay, in this problem, okay, you need to see carefully, apart from point load, since it is a vertically suspended, there will be a self weight. Okay, you need to consider the effect of self weight during the determination of displacements. The thickness of the plate is clearly mentioned, 20 millimeters. Okay, you can see the step number 1, you will be obviously writing the element stiffness matrix EA by L. So if it is a portion 1, it will be suffixes will be 1. If it is portion 2, it will be 2. Now here A is cross section of this particular plate will be W into T. If it's a round cross section, students, they would have mentioned the diameter. So you should have found pi d square by 4 the area of the cross section. Since it is a plate, you need to be careful. Plate, you need to take the cross section by multiplying the width and the thickness. So you got the area. So you solve for the element number 1 by simplifying the EA by L values. You get this value, put it in the matrix form, take the common factor out. This is left to individual. You can take the exponential factor into the matrix or away from the matrix. Make sure you consider it till the last step. Never ever skip this value if you would have taken it as a common outside the matrix. Students commit mistakes here. So the connectivity is mentioned here. Okay, come back to element matrix 2. Okay, element stiffness matrix of element 2, same area of cross section is 100 into 20. Have a look into it. In the previous step it was 125 into 20. I am focusing on the cross section number 1. Look at this, 125 is the width. Okay, thickness is 20 mm. You can see in the third dimension the thickness, z direction, depth. Now similarly here it will be 100 into 20 the bottom portion. So carefully, then connectivity is 2 3 2 3. Then you get the simplified version. Then you need to add the stiffness matrix. Since the size of the global stiffness matrix is 3 cross 3, because you have 3 nodes and at each node you have 1 degrees of freedom, it will be a square and symmetric matrix, 3 cross 3. It's a well known concept. So you write a 3 cross 3 matrix, empty matrix. Now write down the equilibrium equation. which you are well aware of in structural mechanics. If we based on structural mechanics, we will be applying the principle of minimum potential energy. You are going to get this K equals F. Then fill the stiffness matrix. Write 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The connectivity of the nodes. 10 raised to 6 is very, very important. Now you fill the matrix. So there's element stiffness matrix 1, element stiffness matrix 2. Since this is a common node, the element 2 common node, it gets added. The stiffness contribution of element 1 and element 2 gets added at node number 2, which is 3.6. So it will be U1, U2, U3 are the global displacement vector, F1, F2, F3 are the load vector. Now students, for the first time you will be observing that load vector, just if you see the problem, in addition to point load, it has been given that the self weight of the bar to be considered. Okay, has given that self weight of the bar, that is rho. This value is given self weight. That too you need to be very careful that rho is mentioned as 0.8 into 10 raised to minus 4 Newton per mm cube. So very, very important. Unit should be carefully substituted. Newton per mm cube. The modified load vector equation. Remember students, total strain energy in a 3D elastic body, that is the total potential energy in a 3D elastic body, is the sum of strain energy plus work done. What is work done? Work done is contribution of both body force, traction force and point loads, that is concentrated loads. So most of the problems in 1D bar elements will be also focused on concentrated force. In this problem you are observing a body force also. So take that into consideration. We need to use this equation. Body force in element 1 can be given by the expression rho A L by 2 1 for element number 1. So whatever I have written 2 and circle, that is for element number 2. Suppose if it is 1, it's element number 1. Rho L E by 2 1 1 2 3, the connectivity of element number 2. Now what I will be doing, I will be substituting the values for rho. L for element number 1 250, A for element number 1 125 into 20. Have a look into it. See the length. Length is equal for both the elements. How much? 250, 250. So it is clearly mentioned. So no need to worry. So for portion 1 it is area W into T 125 into T, that is 20 mm. Portion 2 it is 100 into 20. Okay. So observe here 125 into 20 by 2, you get 25. That's simplified value. Then come back to element number 2. You will be getting same rho value A L A 100 into 20 by 2 1 1 2 3. Then simplify this value carefully. You will get 20 and 20. Write the element connectivity 2 3. Now you have written the element stiffness matrix from the previous step. So carefully write down this once again. Have a look into this. Have a look into this step. It is 400 is the point load, students. 25 is from contribution from node number 2. Okay, from body loads of element number 1 and element number 2, which is a common node. 25 plus 20. Have a look into it carefully. And have a look into it. What is node number 2? You have 25. Node number 2, you have 20. This 20, this 25 gets added with this P at node number 2. What is this P? This P is 400 newtons. Have a look into the data, students. This P is 400 newtons. Okay. So that P you need to add it in the global load vector. So that is something you need to remember. Earlier, if it were only a point load, you would have added 400 there at F2. Since you have a point load plus body load, you need to take the self weight into effect and their values. So now I'll be using the boundary condition, that is the fixed and U1 is 0, node number 1 displacement is 0. I'll eliminate row number 1 and column. Row number 1 and column number 1 will be striked off. So 10 raised to 6 is there. Simplify, get U2, get U3 By solving, then find the stress induced, well known equation. Once you find displacements only, you are supposed to find the stresses, that is how strains and stresses, the additional calculation. So u1 is 0, u2 is the previous value which you have found, you have 0.186 MPa. Similarly, these are all rudimentary stuff by this time. E2, Young's modulus for both the portion 1, portion 2 is made of steel only. If it would have been a different material, you would have used the corresponding stiffness values. Now 1 by 250 minus 1 comma 1 L2 to U3, you get the simplified version. This is by hand calculation, students, by finite element technique. Then reaction at supports is Ku minus F. We need to find the reaction at support number 1, the node number 1. Okay, that is where the end is fixed. So I will take the first row stiffness values multiplied by the entire displacement values minus of the load of the point number 1, which is 0, which is 25. In fact, in this problem it is 25, since it is a surface, since it is a body load mentioned, we have already calculated what is the value at node number 1. Now if you substitute this 10 raised to 6, which is common, 2 minus 2 0, have a look into it. 2 minus 2 0, 10 raised to 6. So take that into effect. u1 is 0, u2, u3 values which you found, minus 25, which is the value of number 1. Have a look into it. This 25 has to be, this is F1, this is F2. F2 is this to be added, F3 is 20. So I am very focused on finding R1. So I will get R1 as, you multiply this multiplication matrix, multiplies 2 into 10 raised to 6 into 0 minus 2 into 10 raised to 6 into this value minus 0 into 10 raised, so obviously it will be 0, minus 25. Okay, once you calculate this, you will get minus 490 newtons. Okay, minus 490 newtons, and this gives you the reaction at the support. So you have a look into it. Body load plus point load problem. We call these type of problems as body load plus point load problems only. So that's very, very important. So thank you guys. I hope the problem you could understand.